again to talk about another great yaoi, great anime. This one had one book to it. This is called Close the Last Door. Now, this one's interesting because we got a lot going on. We got a marriage going on. You know, we open up with a wedding. And we have a couple characters coming to terms with themselves of being gay. And I can't remember exactly, but I think the groom is even coming to terms with himself if he is even doing the right thing. And see, what I like about this anime is the animation is slightly different. As you've noticed, they're not that realistically done. Excuse me. But the colors are really good. The colors are good. Our characters are really good. And the concept of this, I like the idea, you know, we always say we're going to open a door to new things. Well, this one is closing the last door, meaning closing the door on everything. And I had failed to mention this in my previous videos of discussing yaoi, and what really separates it from hentai is that in yaoi, when they're doing the sex, it's very classy of how they're doing it. You know, they make it look very classy. You know, they don't show a lot, but they give you just enough that you know what's going on. And yes, there's a little sex in here, not, I think there's only 2 scenes and that's it. Other than that, there's really not a lot to go on. You know, it's a basic story with pretty basic characters, but yet again, and I've said this before, I like their outfits. Everybody wears different suits, and it's very interesting to see how these characters act upon each other. And yeah, there's some comedy in here. It's not all serious, but it can get serious at times because we always have that one character that is either coming to terms or not coming to terms with themselves. Sorry guys, it's really hot over here, and I think the sun just baked half my brain today. Sorry. It's not working properly, and alcohol's not going to help it. But and you know, what I have only seen Close the Last Door one time. I haven't even reviewed it, which, you know, normally I review my videos before I, you know, discuss about them. But with Close the Last Door, there's really not much that I had forgotten about this anime. I knew it was pretty basic. It's kind of like Kazuna, you know, it's a basic of everyone's trying to live their lives, and things just happen where someone's either coming out saying, yeah, you know, I love you, I've always loved you, but I've never had the chance to tell you, you know, that kind of thing, which, you know, I always find that interesting when you have one character that's been holding back for so long, and then when they finally break down and they admit to everything, or, you know, they're too scared to admit to it, but they know that it's the truth. You know, I like that when you can really drag out the character's emotions to, even if it's not even a long film, you know, even if it's not a long film, it could only be, you know, an hour or even, you know, 30 minutes, like with sensitive pornography. We didn't get to know the characters a lot, but we got to feel their emotions and how they were attached to each other. And I'm going to say this now, guys. I am so sorry. I don't have any subtitlings for everybody's name because I had forgotten their names, and the subtitling, it's really small, so I'm sorry, guys, but just take my word for it that this anime, this is another good starter for somebody who wants to see a yaoi but doesn't want to see a whole lot of sex. This is a great one to get started with, and I've read the book, I own the book, and it is 100% accurate of what happens in the anime happens in the book. Obviously, there was more sex in the book because there's stuff they can put in the book that they can't put in here. Oh, excuse me. But this, too, has some great animation, great backgrounds, great coloring, great voice acting. And again, this one also is in Japanese. But Close the Last Door, to me, personally, was a little complicated because at the time that I had seen this, I really wasn't understanding every single thing that was going on with each character. And it just seemed kind of tedious at times that it's like, okay, if you love him, just say it. I know it's hard for you to come to terms with it, but you gotta say it, you know? Hold on 1 minute. Oh, sorry. It's really hot. But, Close the Last Door, I think was, I guess, one of my 5th animes that I had seen. And like I said with, like I said in Papa Kiss in the Dark, when I had seen Close the Last Door on YouTube, I didn't watch it immediately. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna download it. It's another yaoi. I'm just gonna download it, add it to my collection. And like again, when I would be sitting in school or, I had nothing else to do, I'd start watching this. And, the turmoil that some of these guys go through, I can see myself in a lot of these yaois, and I can see myself in a lot of these positions where I think a lot of times our main character or one of our main characters, I'm sorry, I don't know who's who, but I just think that at times they don't know themselves. This anime is really straightforward, basic. The story's not that complicated, but then again, at times it's pretty forgettable. Like I forgot about all this. This is some spicy stuff. Oh my! I'm gonna let that play through though. Because unlike sensitive pornography and unlike some other ones, the sex in this one is really innocent. It's actually kind of sweet and cute. It's kind of like that first time, when the first time you've seen a hentai or the first time that you've done or seen anything, it's kind of sweet and innocent. But then as you progress into it, it gets more serious. But, well, that's one way to sleep. Who sleeps with their shoes on? I forgot about that. And there has stuff that I have forgotten about this, but they make everything a little more average in this one. They make the situations a little more believable, and an average bed with an average pillow that's not on steroids. That's something we haven't seen in a while. But, they don't really get into these characters of, where do they work and all this. How does everybody know each other? That's really all in the books. And, well, one book, to my knowledge, I don't know if they made if the books have any other volumes beside the one. We have another new yaoi I'm going to be talking about later on today. That one is called Fish in a Trap. And that one, Fish in a Trap, is a little different, as you guys will see when I'm done. Fish in a Trap is a little dated, so it's a little weird. But it's one that I've seen and I actually love. But these characters, I really don't know what I can say about these characters. The situations they go through, and advertisement there. Average shirts. There we go, guys. We haven't seen any average looking clothes in quite a bit. But yaoi sometimes is hard to talk about, and Close the Last Door is one that I particularly have problems talking about because it is just so straightforward and so basic, and it's a bit forgettable. Now, am I saying this one's worth buying, guys? No. In my opinion, Close the Last Door is not really worth a buy. Is it worth a download? Yes. Because some people, like me, the story's got to be good. And I'm not saying the story here is good, but it loses my interest really quick. And, I don't know how I can talk about this anime considering that it's been so long. I think I haven't seen this since 2000. I think it's been that long. And when you haven't seen one for so long, you forget what goes on and you forget all this. And the reason that I didn't sit and review all this is that, one, I'm pressed for time because I'm trying to get as many videos out to you guys as possible. And the other reason is I just didn't have time for it. I just don't have time to sit down and watch all this. Like I said, subtitling is really small, but the colors and the animation, from the buildings to the sunsets to the trees, the bushes, they're all really good, as they have been in a lot of the videos I have reviewed. But when it comes to the characters themselves, are they good characters? Absolutely. They each have their own personality, and that's something you can't take away from either one character. But I wouldn't say they're forgettable, but this is definitely not one of my top favorites. This would be probably it's not my number one favorite, but it's in there. It's a yaoi, and like everyone has said about me, I love yaoi. I don't care if it's a good story, bad story. I don't care if there's no story, if there's something going on, even though I said I do love the stories. I do. But with Close the Last Door, sorry guys, it's like really hot over here, so I gotta drink a lot. But with Close the Last Door, it does have a good story where one character is trying to get with another character, and they do wind up getting together at the very end. And they wind up, I don't know if they wind up being together. I know they have like a one-night stand, which didn't make sense to me. I watched the scene and I'm like, okay, none of this makes any sense. You guys just, okay, by the door, whatever. I guess that takes in the hint, close the last door. But other than that, this anime is different. It has a different art style to it. The voices are good, and the guys are good. They're proportioned good. Hairstyle, body weight, height, everything is good. But as I've said, the story is a bit a day-to-day thing. And God, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if they could have done more to this. If they would have made there's only one OVA to this, which is this one. I wish they would have made a sequel, because there's so many unanswered questions of what our characters do after this. Do they stay together? Do they don't stay together? And I don't like cliffhangers. I don't know if anyone knows that, but I don't like cliffhangers. If there's a sequel or anything and they put a to be continued, I mean, that still gets me upset, but at least I know there's something that's going to happen, there's going to be a new season of season 3 of Black Butler, and I was all excited. I'm like, yay, I get to see my Grouch-chan again. I get to see what he's going to do in season 3. But with Close the Last Door, there's nothing. There's nothing after this, and it's a little, to me, it's unsettling. It's unsettling to me that there is no sequel to this, and that we have to guess what else happens. So if you guys want to go and check this out, you can. Don't know if it's on YouTube, but you know what? Try to find it. If you can't find it, you find the book. Read the book. Book's just as good. Book is just as good as this. So, this is Jahia Moondragon, and I will see you in the next anime. Bye-bye.